Hello everyone. You are watching Entrepreneurship Development with Ravindra Hegde. In my last video, we have discussed about the definitions of entrepreneurship. Today, let us move ahead and discuss about the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs. If we go through the business history of India, we come across the names of some persons who have emerged as successful entrepreneurs like late Dhirubhai Ambani of Reliance Industries Limited, Ajim Premji of Wipro, Narayan Murthy of Infosys Technologies Limited, Kiran Mujamdar Shah of the Biocon India Group, Vargish uh, Kurren of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, popularly known for utterly butterly delicious Amul, Deepak Yasparek of HDFC, and many more. The entrepreneurial profiles of these business or industry men are found quite fascinating. They are studied in sharp contrast. How? Some are highly educated, others are high school or college dropouts, some are inheritors, others are self made, some topped their chosen field in their 30s, others did not approach the starting line until their 50s. Thus, there is no typical entrepreneur as such. Then the question arises is what makes an entrepreneurial successful? Whether they had anything in common. Friends, the scanning of their personalities shows that there are certain commonalities called characteristics found in them. Well, before listing the characteristics of successful entrepreneurs, let me share a few views about success. Success is not an accident. It is the result of our attitude, and our attitude is a choice. Hence, success is a matter of choice and not chance. A lot of research has gone into the subject of success and failure. All that we need to do is learn our lessons from history. When we study the life histories of successful people, we find that they have certain qualities in common no matter which period of history they lived in. Success leaves clues, and if you identify and adopt the qualities of successful people, we shall be successful. Similarly, there are characteristics common in all failures also. If we avoid those characteristics, then we shall not be failures. Success is no mystery, but simply the result of consistently applying some basic principles. The reverse is just as true. Failure is simply a result of making a few mistakes repeatedly. All of this might sound too simplistic, but the fact is that most truths are very simple. I'm not saying they are easy, but they certainly are simple. What makes a person successful then? How do we recognize success? To some people, success might mean wealth. To others, it is recognition, good health, good family, happiness, satisfaction, and peace of mind. What this really tells us is that success is subjective. It can mean different things to different people. The definition that I feel success well is Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. Success is a progressive realization of a worthy goal. Uh, Let us look at this definition carefully. Progressive means that success is a journey, not a destination. We never arrive. After we reach one goal, we go on to the next and the next and the next. Realization means it is an experience. Outside forces cannot make me feel successful. I have to feel it with myself. It is internal, not an external. Worthy refers to our value system, which way we are heading, positive or negative. Worthiness determines the quality of the journey. That's what gives meaning and fulfillment. Success without fulfillment is empty, dear friends. Why goals are important? Because they give us a sense of direction. Success does not mean being accepted by everyone. See, there are some groups I would not want to be accepted by out of choice. I would rather be criticized by fools than appreciated by unsavory characters. I define success as a manifestation of good luck that results from inspiration, aspiration, desperation, and perspiration, generally in that sequence. Success and happiness go hand in hand. Success is getting what you want, and happiness is wanting what you get. Existence alone is not a success, it is a lot more. If you do more than exist, you live. If you do more than touch, you feel. If you do more than look, you observe. If you do more than read, absorb. If you do more than hear, you definitely listen. If you do more than listen, you understand. Then, how do you measure success? Success in life not determined by how we are doing compared with others, but by how we are doing compared with what we are capable of doing. Successful people compete against themselves. They better their own record and keep improving constantly. They beat their own record and keep improving constantly. Success is not measured by how high we go up in life, but by how many times we bounce back when we fall down. It is this bounce back ability that determines success. So, next, let us talk about the winning edge. In order to get the winning edge, we need to strive for excellence, not perfection. So striving for perfection is neurotic. Striving for excellence is progress because there is nothing that can't be done better or improved. All that we need is a little edge. The winning horse in the races wins 5 to 1 or 10 to 1. Do you think he is 5 or 10 times faster than the other horses? Of course not. He may only be faster by a fraction, by a nose, but the rewards are 5 or 10 times greater. Is it fair? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Those are the rules of the game. That is the way the game is played. The same is true in our lives. Successful people are not 10 times smarter than the people who fail. They may be better by a nose, but the rewards are 10 times bigger. We don't need to improve 1000% in any one area. All we need to improve 1% in 1000 different areas, which is a lot easier. That is the winning edge. Friends, every success story is also a story of great failure. Tom Watson said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. If you want to succeed, double your failure rate. If you study history, you will find what all stories of success are also stories of great failures. But people don't see the failures. They only see one side of the picture and they say that person got lucky. He must have been at the right place at the right time. Let me share someone's life history with you. This man, this was a man who failed in business at the age of 21, was defeated in a legislative race at age 22, failed again in business at age 24, overcame the death of his sweetheart at age 26. He had a nervous breakdown at age 27. He lost a congressional race at age 34. He lost senatorial race at age 45. He failed in an effort to become vice president at age 47. He lost a senatorial race at age 49 and was elected president of the United States at age 52. This man was Abraham Lincoln. Would you call him a failure? He could have quit. But to Lincoln, defeat was a debtor and not a dead end. As a young cartoonist, Walt Disney faced many rejections from newspaper editors who said he had no talent. One day, a minister at a church hired him to draw some cartoons. Disney was working out of a small mouse infested shed near the church. After seeing a small mouse, he was inspired. That was the start of Mickey Mouse. Successful people don't do great things, they do small things in a great way. One day, partially deaf 4-year-old kid came home with a note in his pocket from his teacher. Your Tommy is too stupid to learn. Get him out of the school. His mother read the note and answered, why Tommy is not stupid to learn? I will teach him myself. And that Tommy grew up to be the great Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison had only 3 months of formal schooling and he was partially deaf. Friends, Henry Ford forget to put the reverse gear in the first car he made. See, quite interesting. Do you consider these people failures? They succeeded in spite of problems, not in the absence of them. But to the outside world, it appears as though they just got lucky. All success stories are stories of great failures. The only difference is that every time they failed, they bounced back. This is called failing forward rather than backward. You learn and move forward, learn from your failure and keep moving. In 1914, Thomas Edison, at age 67, lost his factory, which was worth a few $1 million to fire. It had very little insurance. No longer a young man, Edison watched his lifetime effort to go up in smoke and said, there is a great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burnt up. Thank God. We can start new. In spite of disaster, 3 weeks later, he invented the phonograph. What an attitude. Let me give some more examples. So, there is a good quote here. Success. Some people dream of success while others wake up and work hard at it. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. So there must be a change whenever you are moving backward. So Thomas Edison failed approximately 10,000 times while he was working on the light bulb. Henry Ford was broke at the age of 40. Lee Iacocca was fired by Henry Ford at the age of 54. Young Beethoven was told that he had no talent for music, but he gave some of the best music to the world. Friends, setbacks are inevitable in life. A setback can act as a driving force and also teach us humility. In grief, you will find courage and faith to overcome the setback. We need to learn to become victors, not victims. Fear and doubt short circuit the mind. Remember, fear and doubt short circuit the mind. Ask yourself after every setback, what did I learn from this experience? Only then will you be able to turn a stumbling block into a stepping stone. Friends, let me share one a beautiful poem now. If you think, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you are dare not, you don't. If you like to win but think you can't, it's almost a cinch you want. If you think you will lose, you are lost. For out in the world we find success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in state of mind. If you think you are outclassed, you are. You have got to think high to rise. You have got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger and faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. So, what a beautiful poem we have here. Life is like a cafeteria. Life is like a cafeteria. You take your tray, select your food, and pray at the other end. You can get anything you want as long as you are willing to pay the price. In a cafeteria, if you wait for people to serve you, you will wait forever. Life is like that too. You make choices and pay the price. Edwin C. Bliss says success doesn't mean the absence of failures, it means the attainment of ultimate objectives. Success means winning the war, not every battle. Success means winning a war, not every battle. So, what a beautiful wordings given by Edwin. Friends, let me share one beautiful story now. It's about building a life. An elderly carpenter was ready to retire, and he told his boss of his plans to live and live a more leisurely life with his wife. He would miss the paycheck, but he needed to retire. They could get by. The contractor was sorry to see such a good worker go, and he asked the carpenter to build just one more house as a personal favor. The carpenter said yes, but in time it was easy to see that his heart was not in his work. He resorted to shoddy workmanship and used inferior materials. It was an unfortunate way to end a dedicated career. When the carpenter finished his work, the employer came to inspect the house. He handed the front door key to the carpenter. "This is your house," he said. "It's my gift to you." The carpenter was shocked. What a shame. If he had only known he was building his own house, he would have done it all so differently. So it is with us. We build our lives a day at a time, often putting less than our best into the building. Then, with a shock, we realize we have to live in the house we have built. If you could do it over, we do it much differently. But we cannot go back. You are the carpenter of your life. Each day you hammer a nail, place a board, or erect a wall. Your attitudes and the choices you make today build your house for tomorrow. So, students, build wisely. Ask God to be the master builder of your life. Definitely, He will show you how to build a strong foundation for the house of your life. Students, thank you so much. Have a wonderful time.